Okay, I'll start with XRP, and I'll start with the MAs and the turn of the 12-hour. So you can see the 12-hour turned, and you can see the 20 scooping, the 10 scooping, the VWAP, the yellow, the 5 MA. It all looks super pumpy. It just hasn't broken the 20 EMA. Now, when it turned, is the 5. The 5 has gone practically sideways. So too is the VWAP. 10 and 20 are still coming up, but again, you can see the rejection and the red candle at the moment. So potentially we may be having a correction pretty soon, but I don't count my chickens before they hatch. But it's not aggressively pumping up anyway. When I flick to the 10-hour, again you can see the MAs here. Again, the 10 is down. Sorry, the orange one, the 5 is down. White one here is the EMA, and then the 10 MA is the blue, is a bit sideways. So potentially, again, we could be coming down and hitting our 30 target. 30 target. There's the Bollinger down here at 30.52 on the 12-hour. But again, it's gone sideways for 80 odd hours, so I'll believe it when I see it. You can see on the 9-hour a rejection wick there, and another rejection wick here, and the 5 is turned down. So it's definitely in the formation of a turn. It's just taken days to do it. You see the 10 is up here. I'll go to the 6-hour. Again, you can see the 6-hour is a red wick at the moment. Now that's flicking between red and green. But there's the 10 coming around a little bit. Here's the 5. There's a bit of a battle. The 50 is pushing through here, but broke it a little bit. So now it gets a little bit more specific when we start getting into the 4-hour and below. The 4-hour, again, you can see the long wicks here are starting to be a series of them. It is above the 55 at the moment, but most of them are wicking back below it. Here's the 10 pushing up, or sorry, the 5, the 20. Here's the 10 coming down. So they're not crazily pushing up. Yeah. I think the 3-hour is maybe where we'll get our decider. Earlier on, it was testing the 100. Now it come up and it wicked to the 144 WMA, the weighted MA. It may have a push up to the 111, the 111 here. Yeah, it may not. It's been doing a number of red candles. Actually, there's more red candles. This was red for a while. This wasn't. This was red for a while. This was red for a while. So you can see it's getting exhausted. Yeah, it's getting exhausted. You can see lots of rejection wicks here. Now the wicks are coming up here. Yeah, the only thing that's a bit here is the 20 EMA has crossed over to 55 on the 3-hour. Yeah, now then that can happen. That can happen and not much, not pump, simply because here's the impulse here, here's the correction, and it's pretty much exhausted, and the correction needs to come in. Yeah, so I'm hoping that's the plan. We got to see, but the fact that this is this red candle here, now you can see how all these are bunching. So you can imagine that if it decided to push strongly here and cut through, all these, the 5 could turn here, get support of the 50, and then this just cuts through very fast because they're all very close to each other here. They've all bunched up on the 4-hour, yeah, or sorry, on the 3-hour. So just a quick look at the 2-hour. Again, there's the 5 heading on up. The 20 is heading down. Here's the 50. Here's the 10. Yeah, again, it's doing this sideways is with a little lift continually. Here's the 1-hour, and again, it's been trying to turn it. So we'll see what this wants to do. Now I'm gonna go back to the 3 hour, and we're looking at the stock. Earlier on I sent you the stock RSI is coming up. So you can see the stock RSI is coming up. So this is practically up. With regards to the pressure that is putting to come up, the pressure is already exerted. Now there's just a lift. There's not going to be much more pressure. This could actually start spilling down, and this come up just a little bit more and go along the top here, while this is coming down, yeah? So the stock is coming up here on the 3 hour and the 4 hour, again, which is an indication for the down. That it's come back up, and then it's gonna potentially head back down, yeah? And if you think about the lift here, this is the lift. And all the effort it could make here has brought it to here, yeah? So that's why I'm saying when it comes back up here, is the potential for it to turn down is stronger, yeah? So we'll see. It may need to push up to the 111 at 33.14, possibly 33.50 if it wants to do a decent wick. It may or it may not, but you can see it's getting exhausted. So that's really the difference from this morning. Is we've had a couple of more candles with rejection wicks, and it's getting more and more tired, and you're starting to see red candles appear even on the 12 hour. Outside of that, what else do I have here? I was showing you all these trend lines earlier on, and the main one is the center line, yeah? Is this line here, yeah? So rejection, support, rejection. As you can see, it broke through, got rejected, back again. What I want to see is it getting below this line again, yeah? And so that's what I'm looking at. Is this line here again? Is one of the support and resistance lines, the steps. So you can see that it's struggling. 4 times it tried to break this, and it's got rejected. And even on the 4 hour here, we're having this red candle, yeah. So I don't think it's going to be much longer before we get a drop. But again, until it happens, I'm not going to believe it. Could it still get a pump? Yes, it could, absolutely. So my validation and invalidation, if it's going to break up, I want to still see it get above 33.76 or so, basically the peak here, yeah. And if it does, I'll be watching for, I believe it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If it breaks this, I'm looking at a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'd still be looking at it topping out at 35 and doing a retrace. So I want to see it break this, but then I would be very cautious about how it behaves when it hits 35 if it went there. With regards, is it actually going to go and do that big relief rally? I'm not sure about that. Then on the way down is I feel a lot more secure when it breaks essentially 32, and it clearly starts to break 32. Yeah. What would be the signs that I'd be looking for before that are going to be the usual ones. When I go to the EMAs, is I'd want to see on the 5 minute the 20 cross the 55, which is happening here, which is great. And you can see it's tried it a couple of times and it hasn't been able to do it. It got it here, and again got another lift. So this alone is not enough, but it's nice. It's great to see that, just bring it back below the blue line. Is I would want to see the 15 crossover. I'd want to see the 15 crossover, and I actually think it's going to take probably the hour for it to really make a difference. Especially because of the way it's been sideways and going up and down. The 5 and the 15 have been intermittently crossing over and not giving a defined movement. So I think the 10, you can see when the 10 broke here, there was the lift. Is the 10 broke here, and broke my heart because I thought we were going down. It came back up. So here's this lift again, get a little bit more exhausted, is to see this 20 break to 55 on the 1 hour. Is I'd want to see that, and again, there'd be a solid move down towards the 32. It might already be wicking to the 32 by the time this breaks. So that's really where I'd be feeling far more confident that it's actually going to come down and hit the 30 mark, maybe even a little lower. Yeah. So that's what I'm watching out for. On the way up, again, what would I be looking for? Is same thing. Is you can see price action is getting tired. Is what I don't want it to see is it bounce off, say, the 55 on the hour, you know, and get a head of steam and start to lift up again. If that was the case, is you'd start to see the 15. Oh, there we go. There's a nice drop there. You'd start to see this 20 on the 15 start to turn up again. So that's where I'll be looking at that and going, okay, look, it looks like it wants to go up even higher. So that's that. They're the simple MAs that I'd be watching just to observe that. So that's it. That's where I'm at the moment. And look at this. Woohoo! So hopefully it keeps going. Mihaela, do you want to jump in?
Yes.
Here's oh, here it is. Here. There you go.
Okay. Hi guys. Let's see where we are. The screen. Sure. Okay. Now I'll start with Bitcoin. We've actually moved very little, and I expected to do a lift at this. Just a second. Where's the? There. Okay, now there is a nice clear chart. Let's scrunch it in. And I'll switch it to the 1 hour because we have a little bit more visibility on the 1 hour. And it's been a lot of sideways, so these 15-minute candles I think are not so important to notice individually at the moment. Now, this morning we had two possible scenarios. We are still almost where we were this morning. Now, we have started moving a little bit more abruptly just recently when New York started. I don't know if this is the fast move, fake move. This midline will tell us. This white line will tell us if it gets broken and if it stays below it for the next 15 minutes. So if we have a 15-minute candle close and then the other one retests and closes below it, then chances are we're going to come for the bottom of this channel somewhere around the 19,000 mark. This white line is very important. If it's just going to use it to bounce off from it and head up to test the yellow one, again, we are still unsure if it is going to go up. These levels will tell us at their confirmation what's going to happen. We might come up, we might bounce off the midline and meet the 21.2 or even possibly 21.7 level for a double top and then start heading down. I'm treating this as a descending channel. We still have at least one touch to the bottom and possibly one touch to the top before breaking out. We could, however, due to the high volatility of where we are in, break out either way. So that's why it's essential for you to manage your risks and check to see how the trade is going, depending on how trend lines are met and support and resistance lines are met and held. We can see we have a nice rejection here. Oh, I'm saying nice because I'm, you know, I am favoring shorts at the moment, but you know, this is not financial advice. I have to start saying that. So on the 4 hour, we've had a clear rejection here. We seem to have a railway track. Formation happening, which is a reversal. We've had this here, we reversed down. We've had this here, we reversed up. So again, this might start looking like an M formation for the top coming down, or even a head and shoulders. Now we know sometimes in trading things are not so easy. So again, I'm keeping an eye on this long-term doodle. Look at this doodle here. Remove. So I'm keeping an eye on this long-term divergence line that got broken, but then it's back slightly below it. So it's good to monitor. Now we have the 5 on the 4 hour coming up for support, so that might give us some support. However, if that breaks, the next point of support would be the Bollinger on the 4 hour. And if that doesn't hold, we have to go a little bit higher on the time frames. And I would go to the 12 hours to around 19K. So that would be it. I was looking with Roy this morning and I was comparing what happened here to what's happening here, because we seem to have a similar scenario. We've retraced in the fib back to the 382 level. There it is, to around the 382, just the way we did here, and then we did sideways, happy sideways for about 3 weeks. I'm not sure we're gonna get that, but we need to keep that in the, you know, sort of like as a possibility for the medium-term scenario, for the 4 hour time frame, in terms of what might happen. So just because it breaks this trend line, it doesn't mean that it's going to shoot up straight away. It still has to gain more support on the higher time frames. As it's looking at the moment, we might be heading down for a deeper correction, or we might be heading down for a deeper correction at the golden pocket, or we might be heading down to get a bounce of the 19,000 trend line and then come up. We'll see what structures are made in the meantime. Now for Ethereum again, super neat. I was thinking it might come up and challenge the 1150. It didn't. It went somewhere halfway up there, and then it reversed back in the past hour. The confirmation, the move for the confirmation. Oh, I don't know what happened. No, nothing happened. Okay. So the move for the confirmation, the level for the confirmation is 1050. It's the bottom of the sideways channel, and the line that it's using right now for support and resistance might be the indicator that we're breaking down towards that. Again, that would be a 4.8 move, and then here it would have to be, you know, we would have to be sure if it breaks it, that it's gonna come lower. So again, after a 5% move, there might be a little bit of consolidation there. Ethereum is looking on the 12 hour. Ethereum was looking great for the up until it didn't. So it had this nice candle formation here. It had the 10 coming up, but then the 5 is not following the 10 for support. So the 5 is still pointing down. The price action is trying to get above the 20 on the 12-hour, and it's not managing to do so. It's been trying for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. So it might break up and use this period for accumulation. But I'd say all of this rejection points to a possible coming down, bouncing off a support and resistance line, probably around, again, the 1000, and then coming back up with greater force to break the 20 on the 12-hour. Generally, that's what happens when it doesn't have the strength to break through resistance. It has to come down to lift up. It has a beautiful pattern on the 4-hour head and shoulders. So here would be the head and the 2 shoulders. And if I am to use, I will be a little bit more generous with the neckline. I'll put it here, because this is where the shoulder is. And I'll measure. And if it breaks, let me see which level that is. Is it the 1050? It's the 1050. Great, yeah. It's the same level as the channel, and it's the same level as the Bollinger on the 4-hour. It's beautiful when that confluence happens. And the target would be 930 as a technical target for this pattern. That's it from me. This is Ethereum and Bitcoin, the start of New York. I won't see you tomorrow. I'll see you on Monday for London.
Yes.
I'll see you on Monday for London, and I'll keep posting on the chat depending on what happens. If it's quiet, then you know it's quiet. If something is happening, we'll be posting.
And we're going to do a training session on Monday night. What are you calling your training session, Michael?
I'll call it trade setup.